In case you were wondering what I'm going to wear for Halloween this year, except for my funny pumpkin hat, how about this fabulous Halloween shawl? Hey there, and welcome to the Totally First Crochet channel. My name's Thomas. Today I'm in the woods. It looks a lot like fall already, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make such a beautiful and super easy triangle shawl for Halloween, but of course for all seasons. It's super easy to make. It's in Tunisian crochet, and don't worry if you're new to Tunisian crochet, I got you. I will explain everything step by step, very slowly, so you don't have to worry at all, and you will see how beautiful Tunisian crochet is and that you can make such beautiful pieces with it, with a beautiful drape, a beautiful texture, and it's just so much fun, and it looks just amazing. So to fit to the Halloween theme, I got myself this pretty Halloween yarn where the color changes automatically, so no cutting of yarn and attaching it. It's from Hobby. They have this yarn in different colors and different types, and they will also have the same yarn for Christmas, so make sure to get yourself 1 or 2 skeins of those because they are just amazing. Of course, you can wear it over the shoulder as a regular scarf like this, or like I wore it, put it in the center, and here we go, all set up for Halloween. Can we just take a sec to acknowledge how beautiful this fall day is? I mean, and without any further ado, let's get to it. So here's what you need. First up, the yarn. For this tutorial, I'm going to use this super fun Halloween style yarn. It has lots of different color shades. It's a color changing yarn. It's the Halloween edition of Horizon from Hobby, and it's a 100% acrylic. Yes, here it is. It's 200 grams and 550 meters or 601 yards. So you can definitely make quite a lot out of it. I got myself 2 skeins of those. And if you don't want to do a shawl for Halloween, they also have limited edition yarn for Christmas, all with Christmas colors. So it's definitely worth getting some of those because they are not that super expensive and the quality is just awesome. Then of course a Tunisian crochet hook. I'm going to use this hook right here with a cable. Now if you're not so familiar with Tunisian crochet, you would always need like a cable, or sometimes there are also crochet hooks that are just super long and have a stopper in the end, just like the cable has. But personally, I love those ones the best because they are very flexible, so you can then later on put all the work on the cable. I think they were from KnitPro, so you should definitely be able to get one. And if you really want to start exploring the world of Tunisian crochet, I would definitely suggest those. You can exchange the cable, add a longer one, a shorter one, that's up to you. Here, this crochet hook, oh, you can't even see what size the hook is, so that will show you that in the past I made quite a lot of projects with Tunisian crochet. Luckily, I have this little helper, which is also from KnitPro, where I can see what size the hook is. So here it goes through. So this will be then a 6mm hook to go with my yarn, and let's just see what they say. they say I should need a crochet hook number 5. But for Tunisian crochet, it's always good to go 1 or 2 sizes up in terms of the hook. So this is then my chosen hook for this project. And then, of course, for the end, some scissors and a yarn needle to sew in the yarn ends. And you're already good to go. So I'm trying to get to that centerpiece somewhere here. I can feel a yarn baby coming out already. So this didn't work as well as I thought. Here's the yarn baby. Oh well. Seems like all of my Halloween projects this year start in a weird way. So let me just get this in a way where I can work with. I'm back from yarn hell. Oh my goodness, this was probably one of the worst yarn babies ever. But the good news is I survived, so we can continue. My yarn cake now looks like a mess, but so be it. So here we go. We can start our project, and we are first going to make a slip knot like this, and then we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and make sure that you keep your yarn and the stitches a bit tighter, because now for Tunisian crochet you always keep the loops on your hook and then go backwards. So what we do is we are getting now a second loop on our hook, and we go into the back bump of our first stitch right here. Grab the yarn over, and pull through to have 2 loops on your hook. And now we are going back for the first time, and this is the same for all the increasing rounds that we do. You yarn over and pull through 1, and then you yarn over and pull through 2. This was the second round. So now you always have like this beautiful V stitch here in the front, which is then our border, and then when you press it a little bit out, you get like a hole in the middle. This is exactly where we want to place the next stitch. So you go right in there, yarn over, pull the yarn through, pull everything up a little bit, and now we want to go into our corner space on the other side, and we always try to go through both of the loops, yarn over and pull through. So now you have 3 loops on your hook, because we just made an increase by using the one in the middle. Then we go back again, so you yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. So now you have like 3 vertical bars visible here. These are the stitches. And now to keep this side where we always start our round in a straight way, we have to alternate. We have to alternate in terms of how we use or how we do the first stitch. In one round, we go directly after, or we go directly in between the first 2 stitches. In every second round, we skip this first space here and go directly into the space after that, before then going into the border stitch. I know it sounds complicated, but once you made the beginning, it's going to be much easier. So for this next round, we are going to skip the first space here, and then we are going into the next one, all the way through in this space, yarn over, grab the yarn, pull it through, pull everything up, and then we can go directly into our corner stitch right here. Again, we have 3 loops on the hook because we didn't do an increase because we skipped the first in between space. So we go back, you yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now you can see that the space here in between the first and the second stitch is quite big. So whenever it is big, you always know that then you can do the first stitch right into that first hole, like that. Grab the yarn, pull it through, and then we go into the next hole in between the stitches. Now you have 3, and we have the corner. So now we increased our stitch count in this round to 4. Now we go back, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and through 2. And now the stitch 1 and stitch 2 are very close together. So that means we skip this and go directly in between stitch number 2 and 3. So go in there, grab the yarn or yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook. Then we have the space right before the end of the round. 3 loops on your hook, and then we take the corner stitch, 4. Now you also see that the gap here is a bit wider than for the others. Then we go back, you yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now again in the first space, always all the way through, because this is the Tunisian full stitch, so you always go fully through. And here's now a full round where we also increase. So after this round, we will have 5 loops on our hook, and the first 2 are close together, so you know for the round after that, it's going to be a skipping of the first one. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, and through 2. Then skipping the first space in between stitches, then we go into in between stitch number 2 and 3, then in between number 3 and 4, in between number 4 and the border, and the border stitch. So we have the 5, and we go back, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and like this all the way through. Then in the first one, in the second, in the third, in the fourth, and in the border. So now you have 6, and we go back, and like that we basically increase every second round while keeping the starting side in a straight way here, except for the very beginning, but this will later on also go the same way. And the pattern, the Tunisian full stitch, already starts to build. I'm going to make a few rounds together with you until you also see the pattern clearly. So here the 2 stitches are very close together, which means that we are skipping the first one and go directly into the second, and then the third, the fourth, the fifth, and our border. 6 loops, yarn over, pull through 1, and through 2 all the way. Now we are going to be increasing to 7, so we go into the first stitch, then the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the border. So now we have 7, yarn over, pull through 1, and through 2 all the way through. Then we skip the first one and go in the second. So you're always working in between the stitches all the way through to grab the yarn. And we are always going to make this last space where we pull the yarn through and our border. And then we go back. Now you can see the big space in between. So we are going in there and pull the yarn through. And the border, now we have 8, and now you can also see how the pattern comes to life. Then we skip the first one. So just really make sure to always alternate, because otherwise you would increase on both sides. I tried to make it, or I tried to make the triangle with increasing on both sides, but it turns out super asymmetrical, which can be nice too, but I think this way it's much easier and also looks much better. And then we go again in that first space in between our stitches. And also always make sure to, when you grab the loop and pull it up, really just pull it up so that your work doesn't curl that much, because for Tunisian crochet it can happen that your work tends to curl. And once you've made it through the beginning, you can then also relax a little bit and just keep everything a bit loose and a bit more soft. Because for that stitch, which is also very squishy and rich in terms of texture, it's always good to not have your work too tight. Then we skip the first one. And now you can also clearly see the space in between those vertical bars where you would then go in with your Tunisian crochet hook and yarn over and pull the yarn through. My dog is already snoring and dreaming again right next to me. So just in case you were wondering. In my next life, I want to come back as a dog, that's for sure. So I can't sleep all the time. Then the last round we do together, we go into the first one all the way through. And let's see, how many do I have? 10. So this is basically 20 rounds then, if we increase just every second stitch. And we go back. So here's a closer look at the pattern. I think it's super pretty with all those alternating bars. And again, I really love the shine of this yarn right here. And you get a super pretty border on the side, on both sides actually. So this is definitely something that I absolutely love about Tunisian crochet. But for now, this is all there is. You increase every second round until you have basically half of your shawl, and this part here will then be the part that will sit in front of your chest when you wear it. So I will basically use up almost everything of this strange cursed yarn cake before then moving on to my second yarn cake. And this is then also when I see you again, when I show you how to do the decreases. Exactly. So have fun, enjoy it. If you feel like you have been too tight in the beginning, open it up again and start over. Now it's just a few rounds, so it's easy to start over. And I'll meet you once I'm at half of my shawl. See you. So here's where I am. I just have a little bit of yarn left, which is okay, because now I'm going to go back and decrease the side. And it could be that in my second cake of yarn, there's a few meters less of the yarn. So just to be sure that I will end up with the second yarn cake in a way how I started, I just left a little bit. Here's how it looks like. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's also quite long. Let me just measure it. Let's see. Around 1 meters and 10 centimeters, and which is about 43.5 inches. So when I now decrease, I will end up with a shawl with a length of over 2 meters, basically, which is fine. And now the width, which also then determines how deep it goes in front of your chest, basically, is, I would say, around 60 centimeters, which is about 24 inches. So those are the dimensions. And those 24 or those 60 centimeters, they will stay the same because now we are going to decrease and go along until we basically reach the end, which will then look very similar to this part here. And now I'm going to show you how to decrease. So the way to decrease it is actually very easy. For all the following rounds, the beginning is still the same. In one round we make a stitch right after our starting loop, and in the next round we don't. So the same thing like we did in all the rounds before. And for the ending of the round, before we then go backwards with the return pass, what we do to decrease is that all of the stitches back, we are always going to pull the loop through 2 loops. So the last 2 stitches here will be then crocheted together. And just in case you're not at the end, just like me, we then make those last 3 stitches, and of course our border stitch here. So now we have them all, and now to go back you yarn over, and instead of just going through 1 like we did before, we are just going through 2 already. Like that, we are going to crochet the last 2 loops together, and then again it's the same thing like we did before, yarn over, pull through 2 all the way. And I will just finish this round and then come back to show you once more or twice more how to decrease. And this you do basically right until the end of your shawl. And here we go again. Here you can see the 2 stitches that we, or the 2 loops that we crochet together. We are going into our space right before, like we always did it. And then the last stitch is, you can always find on the side, which is right here. Basically the outside of the 2 loops that we crochet together. And we take it up like this. Here you can also already see that we are now going backwards in terms of, or down here, this direction, that decreases. And then again, once you have all the loops, yarn over and go through 2 already in the first one. Here you see how the 2 loops get together, and yarn over and pull through 2. And when I'm back, I'll show you a third time, and then I let you do it. And here we go, the next decrease. Here you can see the 2 loops from the previous round. Here's the one right before that, and then you twist your work towards yourself to see that last stitch right here. Yarn over, pull through. Now you have it. And then again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And here you can then also see the 2 stitches, how they look together, and we are going back down with our decreases. And this is how you do it right until the end, until you have just 2 loops to crochet together. And I will meet you right before I reach that point myself, and then I'll tell you how to finish it off. Bye. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm almost at the end. After decreasing in the center, and if you go along Say hi to Holly. This was her snoring again. Some people pointed her snoring out in one of my previous videos. She is right next to me sleeping, and she better is sleeping because outside it's raining cats and dogs. But anyway, if you have decreased your shawl the way I showed you, then you would basically get smaller pieces all along. And now I am just a few stitches away from finishing everything. So let me just do that. So at some point you just have like only a few stitches left to work in and to finalize everything. And that's basically where I am right now. So now I just have 2 left, and I will just pull them through and yarn over and make a slip knot. You can cut the yarn. I cut it already to finish that side off. And now you have the full scarf. Here's the little peak where we then started the decreasing, and I mean, I am so happy with how this triangle shawl turned out. Those colors are absolutely beautiful, and I hope you can also see that beautiful Tunisian crochet texture and a fabulous drape. I mean, of course, you can wear it over the shoulder, you can wear it as a regular scarf, you can put it over your legs when you're freezing in winter. I mean, a piece like this you can use in so many ways. And there's just one little thing that I would do, especially for this stitch, because the main side, the long side, for me always has the issue that the stitches are a bit irregular. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, and I just want to make sure that they all look super nice. Here's one that comes out quite a lot, because the other sides always have like a super nice and super clean border, and I just want to do the same thing with the other side as well, because even here you can see there are some yarn strands that come out, and this will also give your triangle shawl a little bit of stability. There's also something here that I'm not even sure what it is, some fuzzy yarn part. I'm just going to cut that off. And of course, in that next step, I will also incorporate the yarn ends, and then your triangle shawl is done. So this is all that was left from my yarn. I think it should be enough to make a final round of, in that case, single crochet around it. And I will start by making a slip knot, and then I will try to find that very first stitch. And as you can see, the beginning also doesn't look that super clean and nice, so we are just going over that and cleaning everything out. And I'm just going to go into that corner stitch and connect my yarn. I will also make sure that I have both yarn strands in front of me, and then I will basically just go stitch by stitch and make single crochets on top So here's the next one. And so we can continue. Of course, now the colors don't match for that part, but for me that's absolutely fine. I mean, this is still Halloween and it can be fun. So here's how it then will look like. Just make sure to hold everything a bit more loose. You don't have to do like super tight crochet stitches. And make also sure that you really get all of them, each on its own. So of course my yarn ends with black. But so what? I was hoping that I could go through the side in yellow and orange, but it is what it is. So when you reached that very end, you just cut the yarn, make one last chain, just take the two yarn ends together and make a double knot, just so everything is secure. Then I will take my yarn needle with both yarn ends and I will just hide them basically inside of the round of single crochets that I just made. And then I will turn and go back just a few stitches to make sure that everything is properly sewn in. And cut the yarn, and your beautiful triangle shawl is complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were inspired by making this beautiful Tunisian crochet shawl with me for Halloween. And of course, you can make the same shawl with Tunisian crochet with every yarn you like and for every occasion. This just fit perfectly to the season and I'm absolutely in love with those colors. So I hope to see you back again next time, only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. Maybe crochet, maybe Tunisian crochet, who can say? And of course, if you don't want to miss any of the future videos and episodes, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of them. See you. Bye.